In the depths of World War II, amidst the chaos and terror, the story of a young woman named Lili Bohm stands as a testament to human resilience and courage. On November 25, 1941, in Yugoslavia, Lili faced a grim fate that would etch her name into the annals of history. Her execution by pole hanging, a method involving a post and a noose, was not just a tragic end but a powerful symbol of resistance against overwhelming oppression. This tale, steeped in historical significance, takes us through the harrowing experiences of those who dared to defy tyranny. On November 25, 1941, the air was heavy with a sense of foreboding in Yugoslavia. Lili Bohm, a young woman of just 20 years, was to face her execution. Pole hanging, a method both ruthless and efficient, awaited her. The use of a post and a noose was not merely a means of ending a life. It was a statement, a chilling warning to those who dared resist. This day marked a poignant chapter in the tapestry of World War II, illustrating the grim lengths to which occupying forces would go to maintain control. The historical context is crucial to understanding the gravity of this event. Yugoslavia, having joined the Axis alliance in March 1941, was under the iron grip of terror. The Ustase militia, notorious for their brutality, alongside other occupying forces, sowed fear through executions and other acts of violence. Lili Bohm's execution was a part of this broader pattern of oppression. Her death was not just a personal tragedy, but a reflection of the larger, brutal dynamics at play during this turbulent period. Lili Bohm's background adds a layer of depth to this narrative. She was a member of the Young Guard, a Jewish youth organization committed to resistance. Despite her young age, she stood firm against the Hungarian forces, embodying a spirit of defiance and courage. Her capture, while carrying a weapon, sealed her fate. The Hungarian police, determined to quash any form of resistance, sentenced her to death. Yet, her bravery in the face of such dire circumstances remains a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Historical context. March 1941 was a turning point for Yugoslavia as it joined the Axis alliance, setting the stage for a period of intense terror and violence. The Ustase militia, along with other occupying forces, unleashed a campaign of brutality that left deep scars on the nation. The executions were not just acts of punishment, but tools of psychological warfare aimed at breaking the spirit of resistance among the population. This dark chapter in history is a vivid reminder of the human cost of war, where simple history becomes a complex tapestry of suffering and resilience. In the midst of this turmoil, the story of Lili Bohm unfolds, shedding light on the harsh realities faced by many. The Ustase militia's reign of terror extended to countless innocent lives, with public executions becoming a grim spectacle meant to instill fear. Imagine walking the streets of your town, knowing that defiance could lead to a public hanging. It was a time when even the whisper of dissent could be deadly, a stark contrast to the freedoms many enjoy today. This period of medieval-like siege tactics and trench warfare was marked by an overwhelming sense of hopelessness and despair. Yet, within this oppressive environment, there were sparks of resistance. Individuals like Lili Bohm stood up against the tyranny, their courage serving as a beacon of hope. Her involvement with the Young Guard, a Jewish youth organization, was a bold act of defiance. Despite the risks, she chose to fight back, embodying the resilience that many showed during these trying times. Her capture and subsequent execution highlight the brutal measures employed by the occupying forces to maintain their grip on power. The story of Lili Bohm is a powerful reminder of the enduring human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Lili Bohm's background. Lili Bohm, at just 20 years old, was a vibrant member of the Young Guard, a Jewish youth organization dedicated to resisting the oppressive forces of the time. Her life was a testament to the spirit of resistance that thrived even under the harshest conditions. Despite the overwhelming odds, she chose to stand up against the Hungarian forces, showing a bravery that belied her young age. Lili's involvement with the Young Guard was not just about defiance. It was about holding onto a sense of identity and purpose amidst chaos. Imagine being in Lili's shoes, young, full of dreams, and yet faced with the stark reality of occupation. Her decision to join the resistance was fueled by a deep sense of justice and a desire to protect her community. This wasn't just a fight for survival, it was a fight for dignity and freedom. The Young Guard provided a sense of camaraderie and purpose, uniting young individuals, like Lili, in their common goal. They engaged in activities ranging from distributing underground newspapers to planning acts of sabotage, all aimed at undermining the enemy's efforts. Lili's capture was a turning point. Armed with a weapon, she was caught by the Hungarian police, sealing her fate. Her trial was swift and merciless, reflecting the brutal efficiency of the occupying forces. Sentenced to death, Lili faced her end with a courage that continues to inspire. Her story is not just one of tragic loss, but also of remarkable resilience. It reminds us that even in the darkest times, the human spirit can shine brightly, defying the forces that seek to suppress it. Capture and sentence. Lili Bohm's capture marked a grim climax in her story of resistance. Armed with a weapon, she was apprehended by the Hungarian police, an act that underlined the perilous nature of her defiance. Her capture wasn't just the end of her personal freedom, it was a symbolic blow to the resistance movement she embodied. The Hungarian authorities, keen to make an example out of her, wasted no time in sentencing her to death. This swift and merciless judgment was designed to send a clear message to anyone daring to oppose their rule. Consider the atmosphere during her trial. The courtroom, likely a somber and oppressive place, echoed with the harsh verdict handed down to her. Lili stood there, a young woman facing the full weight of the Axis power's wrath. This wasn't just a trial of a single individual, it was a public spectacle meant to instill fear. The authorities aimed to crush any flicker of rebellion, using her sentence as a dire warning to others. In those moments, Lili's bravery shone through, her resolve unbroken even as she faced the inevitability of her fate. The method of her execution was particularly brutal. Pole hanging, a technique that involved a chest sling and a noose, required the executioner to manually dislocate the victim's neck. This method was not only excruciating but also deliberately chosen for its psychological impact. It was a way to demonstrate the power and control the occupiers held over life and death. Lili Bohm's sentence and execution highlighted the lengths to which these forces would go to maintain their dominance, using fear and violence as their primary tools. Execution method. The execution method that sealed Lili Bohm's fate was as chilling as it was brutal. Pole hanging involved a macabre choreography of death where the victim was placed in a chest sling with a noose around their neck. The executioner then manually dislocated the neck, a process that was both gruesome and efficient. This method wasn't just about ending a life, it was about instilling a deep-seated fear in the hearts of those who witnessed it. The choice of such a brutal method was a calculated move by the Axis powers to crush the spirit of resistance in the occupied territories. Imagine the psychological impact of such an execution. For those forced to witness it, the horror would be unforgettable, a vivid reminder of the consequences of defiance. The height of the pole, typically around 3 meters, added to the spectacle, making the victim's struggle visible to all. This method was chosen for its ability to convey the occupiers' absolute power over life and death, leaving an indelible mark on the collective memory of the community. It was a stark example of how medieval tactics of terror were employed in the modern era to enforce compliance. The use of pole hanging also serves as a grim reminder of the dark side of military history and the evolution of warfare tactics. From ancient chemical warfare used by the Sasanians to the trench warfare of World War I and even the tunnel systems in the Vietnam War, the methods of instilling fear and exerting control have varied but remained consistently brutal. Lili Bohm's execution by pole hanging was a continuation of this legacy of cruelty, a testament to the extremes of human ingenuity in devising methods of warfare and punishment. Her story is a poignant reminder of the human cost of such tactics and the resilience of those who dared to resist. Final moments. Lili Bohm's final moments were marked by a blend of bravery and tragedy, encapsulating the harsh realities of wartime justice. Executed in front of a crowd, her death was meant to serve as a potent deterrent against further resistance. The public nature of her execution was a deliberate tactic designed to amplify the fear and suppress any flicker of rebellion. Witnessing such a gruesome scene would have left an indelible scar on the minds of those present, reinforcing the occupiers' dominance through sheer terror. Consider the crowd that gathered to witness Lili's execution. Among them were probably friends, family, and fellow resistors, their hearts heavy with sorrow and fear. The execution was more than just a punishment for Lili. It was a strategic move to demonstrate the brutal efficiency of the Axis forces. Her death was a clear signal to others that defiance would not be tolerated and would be met with the harshest consequences. In those final moments, Lili's courage stood in stark contrast to the brutality of her captors, her resolve unwavering even as she faced the end. Lili Bohm's execution by pole hanging was not just a personal tragedy, but a symbol of the broader struggle faced by many during this dark period. Her story reflects the cruel reality of medieval-like tactics being employed in modern warfare, a blend of ancient and contemporary methods of instilling fear. From the use of siege weapons and trench warfare to the psychological impact of public executions, the methods may have evolved, but the underlying brutality remained. Lili's final moments serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of such tactics, highlighting the enduring spirit of those who fought against oppression, even in the face of certain death. In reflecting on Lili Bohm's last moments, one can't help but draw parallels to other instances in history where public executions were used as a tool of terror. Whether it was the Sasanians using ancient chemical warfare, the trench warfare of World War I, or the tunnel systems in the Vietnam War, the common thread is the use of fear to maintain control. Lili's story, therefore, becomes a poignant chapter in the larger narrative of military history, reminding us of the personal sacrifices made in the quest for freedom and justice. Conclusion. The tale of Lili Bohm is a poignant reminder of the enduring human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Her life and death encapsulate the broader struggles of many who resisted the brutal forces of the Axis powers during World War II. From her brave defiance as a member of the Young Guard to her tragic execution designed to instill fear, Lili's story is one of resilience and sacrifice. As we reflect on her journey, we are reminded of the countless individuals whose courage and determination have shaped history, inspiring us to continue the fight for justice and freedom in our own times.